walked out from the season opener for offense?
Hard work. Guys are really understanding how to be more physical and get downhill, which has always been kind of at the forefront of the priority list upon arrival. They're working hard. They really did a good job communicating at the line of scrimmage and able to run the ball against some tough looks and some plus outnumbered boxes, which is always difficult. And the best part about it, there's some really good things done in there, and there's some room for improvement as well. That's what it's going to be every week. I mean, you're going to hear pretty much the same report. Things were done well, and we got to improve more, and that's the way it should be. But we're growing. We're getting better. A lot of guys got to play, which was good. And so we saw it helps us increase the amount of competition that we have up front. So certainly a huge task this week that we're looking forward to.
With so many rushing touchdowns from Kanai and Royce, how do you feel like the offensive line did?
They did pretty good. They did pretty good. We're always going to raise the standard, and if we do really well, we're probably going to say it wasn't so good, and we're just going to continue to, incentivize it. We don't want to give it a human nature. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing you battle all the time, right? You battle human nature all the time. So we feel like we can be extremely effective, physical, and powerful up front. We have work to do, but we certainly come a long way in a short amount of time. And let's go find out on Saturday.
What's that competition level like between the ones and the twos? You mentioned all the different guys that got to play. Did you get a chance to see some from the twos, and what stood out for you?
Yeah, we did. Guys like Brady Yellow and Doug Brenner really, they got time with the ones in there as well, almost like they're co-starters. So and they're certainly pushing, and it's good to have that in there. There's still a pretty significant separation between the rest of the ones and the twos, and they know that, and there's some of the threes that are working their ways into being twos, so there's going to be cranked up a little bit as well. That's going to help the entire room just continue to improve. No one's going to be content and lackadaisical. We're going to just continue stoking the fire and making sure we're getting the best out of each and every guy.
What stands out when you look at Nebraska's defense on
Physical.
film?
Large, physical guys. They're long, they're athletic, thick. They run to the football extremely well, quick twitch. They've got multiple personnel groupings on defense. They test you. They test protections with what they do. They test the run game by squeezing you out and making that ball bounce outside. They've done a phenomenal job shutting down teams that run, a lot of zone schemes, and certainly Coach Diaco has a tremendous reputation as a great defensive coordinator. So much respect for the work that they've done. We've got a great opportunity this coming weekend.
You guys are taking a little field trip out to the coast. Have you ever had air quality this bad before during football season?
That's kind of neat. I don't see anything too wrong with it. But then again, I'm from Miami, Florida, so I haven't seen anything like this before. But my kids just wake up every morning and ask me if someone's barbecuing. That's the only thing. But aside from that, it's part of it. Bottom line is at 1:15. Is that the kickoff time?
30.
1:30. At 1:30, the ball is going to be placed in the tee and it's going to be kicked. Right? We're going to start the game. So, come smoke, come hail, whatever it's going to be, the ball's going to be teed off, and we have to be ready. So whatever it takes, we're going to do it.
Coaches and players tend to be creatures of habit. How do you keep this from feeling so out of the ordinary that it becomes a distraction?
Just create a new habit. That's all it is. I mean, really, if this kind of stuff distracts you, God help you in Autzen Stadium or on the road against a team that packs them in there at 80,000 people with people screaming their lungs out, right? So this to me is done. This to me is an opportunity on the bus to pull out the computer, watch them more, study them more, get some work done on the bus. I mean, it is what it is. There's no flinching.
Coach, do you expect 10 rushing touchdowns now this week from your guys?
Do I expect that? You know what I do? I expect us to get better. We don't put a number on it. Really we keep the process nameless and faceless. Don't look at the scoreboard. Just stay process oriented. And that's not a tagline and that's not a cliche. I mean, it's really been kind of the motto that we've adopted, and it keeps us on point and in line with chasing the goals that we have, and they're pretty high. We really want to elevate the standard of the physicality and the production of the offensive line. And, game one was a very positive step in that direction.
Mario, what do you like more as an O-line coach? One sack allowed, only one sack allowed, or 348 yards rushing?
I like 0 sacks allowed, and I like a lot of rushing yards. Even more than all that, I like victories, So, again, there are so many things that play into the production of an offensive line. I think more importantly, or as important, I guess I should say, is the entire offense is in sync. I don't think the receivers got enough credit for the way they blocked in the perimeter. I thought those guys were extremely physical, and I think it's pretty neat when you watch film as an offense to watch those guys get after, people out in the secondary and out in the perimeter. And I think that itself also kind of ups the physicality of your football team. So we have miles to go, as a team. We know that. But we're off to a good start, and this will be another positive day. And they know today's a hard work day now. this should feel like a game when they come out of Tuesday's practice, and that's the goal of it. So.
Sorry if I missed it earlier, but are you looking forward to taking a little road trip?
Yeah, to me, it really doesn't affect us. I mean, we're still going to go home at 1 a.m. and be back at 5 a.m. as a coach. So this right here, maybe you get a 10-minute nap on the way there and see the ocean a little bit, right? But aside from that, it's the same stuff. It's not going to affect us.
Have you guys planned to kind of adjust to the facilities out there?
Yeah, these guys, our people in player development and the operation do a phenomenal job. I mean, they always have a plan for whatever may come up. God forbid there should be a hole in the indoor facility or, a crater show up on the football field. There's always a plan, okay? And so we go to bed at night knowing that we're going to have the opportunity to practice and get to work.
You probably did this every now and then at Miami, right? During hurricane season, you guys ever have to relocate?
We did as a player, and a coach had to do it a couple of times. Certainly those things, praying for all those down there. They got a big one coming their way. But yeah, it's part of it. Have had games canceled before, had games postponed. New light fixtures put up to play a game. So it's again, the show must go on. So it's good. That's the best part about football. It's maybe one of the best classes you'll ever take because it teaches you, right, to adjust, no excuses. What's that sign say out there? Blame no one, make no excuses, do something. We're in full mode there. Okay. Thank you, guys.